Hari Om everybody. Let's get started. Shuklam Varadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Vadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye. Om Ganana Antva Ganapatigum Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamasravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspatan Shrunvannuti Dasadanam. Om Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebir Vajinivati Dhinama Vityavat. Om Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Vakratunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Vagishadya Sumanasaha Sarvartanam Upakrame Yam Natva Krutakritya Syuhu Tam Namami Gajananam. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambam Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Saraswati Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasya Laksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami Sadgurum Tam Namami. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram. Shankaram Shankaracharya Keshavam Badarayanam. Sutra Bhashya Kritav Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha. Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam. Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Yasya Sannidhi Matrena Sarve Shishyascha Sevakaha Karma Kshetre Pravartante Chinmayam Tam Namamyaham. Chinmayam Tam Namamyaham. प्रातस्मरामि हृदि संस्फुरदात्मतत्त्वम् सच्चित्सुखं परमहंसगतिं तुरीयम् यत्स्वप्नजागरसुषुप्तमवैति नित्यम् तद्ब्रह्म निष्कळमहं न च भूतसङ्गः प्रातर्भजामि मनसा वचसामगम्यम् वाचो विभान्ति निखिला यदनुग्रहेण यन्नेति नेति वचनैः निगमावोचुः तं देवदेवमजमच्युत माहुरग्र्यम् प्रातर्नमामि तमसः परमर्कवर्णम् पूर्णं सनातनपदं पुरुषोत्तमाख्यम् यस्मिन्निदं जगदशेषमशेषमूर्तौ रज्ज्वाम्भुजङ्गमयिव प्रतिभासितं वै रज्ज्वाम्भुजङ्गमयिव प्रतिभासितं वै. Let us do the Mangala Charana Shloka of Atma Bodha. तपोभिक्षीण पापानां शान्तानां वीतरागिणां मुमुक्षूणामपेक्ष्योऽयम् आत्मबोधो विधीयते. We started this text a few weeks ago. We are studying Atma Bodha under 10 broad categories. So far we have covered about 6 topics. Fundamentally, because of our avidya or ajnana or ignorance of our true nature, we have a notion or a bhranti that I am Jiva. I am a limited entity. Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji started with moksha sadhana and then covered the nature of samsara and all of the Tvampada Vichara up to 29th verse. Last week, he gave us a lot of Swarupa Lakshana, meaning direct pointers to Atma. Because Atma Vishaya is Atindriya Vishaya, meaning it cannot be perceived by our senses, he gave us the methodology of Neti Neti, meaning not this. This is not me. A type of negation as outlined in the Bruhadaranyaka Upanishad. As we discussed last week, we need to weed out the anatma vasana or erroneous notion by Atma Chintanam. In the 30th verse, he suggested Nishidya Nikilopadi Neti Neti iti Vakyataha Vidyadaikyam Mahavakyaihi Jivatma Paramatmanoho. The This is a classic shloka of Atma Anatma Vivechanam. Nikilopadi Nishidya. I'm just trying to recap. Here, Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji gave us a technique that one should negate all of the upadhis, like Shariratraya, Panchakosha. Shariratraya is gross body, subtle body, causal body. Nishidya means negating. Naiti, naiti, neti. This is not me. Purely an intellectual negation, not physical destruction. Using the support of Vakyataha, meaning the support of Mahavakya. So the quintessence of Vedanta is found in these great declarations or Mahavakyas. There are many that are found in various places in Vedas. We commonly use 4 of the popularly known Mahavakyas from different Upanishads and 1 from each Veda. We saw the storyline last week to connect the teachings of the 4 Mahavakyas, which provides a roadmap to the sadhaka. Pragnanam Brahma. Consciousness is Brahman. It declares that consciousness is all-pervading. It is called as a Lakshana Vakya, a statement of definition. Guru gives this statement and asks student to reflect on it. So the disciple, after reflecting on Guru's teachings, still has doubts. So in the second Mahavakya, Tattvam Asi, that thou art, from Chandogya Upanishad, Samaveda, is a Upadesha Vakya, a statement of instruction. You are that. This is only to be realized through self-enquiry. Then comes the Anubhava Vakya of after student goes through meditation, reflects, and through his own Anubhava, experience of the truth, he says, Aham Brahma Asmi. I am Brahman. From Bruhadaranyaka Upanishad, Yajurveda. Then comes Brahmanishtatva. I am Atma Brahma. This self is Brahman. From Mandukya Upanishad, Atharvana Veda. This is called as Anusandhana Vakya. So this disciple now is a Brahmanishta, firmly established in the Tattva, in the teachings. We talked a little bit about last week about Chinmudra, indicating that Purnatva, where there is no beginning and end, that Jiva Brahma Aikya. Please remember, this oneness is possible only as Lakshyartha or implied meaning of the Mahavakya. Then in the 31st verse, he said, Avidyakam Shariradi Drushyam Buddhavaksharam. The Sharira Adi means Stula Sukshma Karana Sharira or Avidyakam. They are born out of ignorance. They are ksharam, perishable, impermanent. How? Buddhavad, like bubbles in an ocean. Mithya. But Brahman is etat vilakshanam vidyat aham brahmeti nirmalam. Through viveka or discrimination, realize that Atma is nirmala, pure. Vilakshanam, different from all these anatmas. Then in the 32nd verse, The 31 and 32 are pointers for Shravanam. Mahavakya Shravanam. Jiva Brahma Aikyam. Deha Anyatvat. I am other than this body. Because Atma is not subject to modifications. There is no birth or death. I am Nirvikaraha. I do not have any association with the sense organs. Nirindrataya. These were some of the pointers that were given. Then what about the mind? In 33rd verse, he said, Amanasyatvat. Amanaha. I am other than the mind. So I am free from dukkha, raga, tvesha, bhaya, adayaha. I am free from sorrow, free from attachments, likes, I am free from dislikes, I am free from fear, which are all characteristics of the mind. Then we saw a direct quote from Mundaka Upanishad, Aprano hyamana shubbraha aksharat paratah paraha 2-1-2. Those who are taking notes. This is the Shruti Vakya, meaning Upanishad Vakya, Mundaka Upanishad to be precise. Apranaha. I am without the pranas. Amanaha. I am without the mind. Shubbraha. I am pure. This is how scriptures declare the nature of Atma. Apranaha indicates I have no subtle body. Shubbraha indicates I have no causal body, no impurities. Then through 34 through 39, we saw all of the Nididhyasana shlokas. Number 34, most important shloka, because it's all direct pointers. Let us go ahead and chant that. Nirguno nishkriyo nityaha nirvikalpo niranjanaha nirvikaro nirakaraha nitya muktosmi nirmalaha. Nirvikara and nirakara. What does it do? It suggests there is no modification. It negates the stula sharira, gross body. Nishkriya means actionless. Actions belong to what? Karmendriyas, organs of action, pranas, etc. So they belong to sukshma sharira or subtle body. So I am different from that. This is how we need to think. Nirvikalpaha means without any thought modifications. I am repeating all this because it registers in our mind. They belong to the antahkarana. Antahkarana is what? Internal organs are mind, intellect, memory, ego. Mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. So the terms nishkriya, nirvikalpa indicates what? Atma is different from the subtle body. I am nirguna. Gunas, sattva, rajas, tamo guna, their gunas belong to the karana sharira, causal body. I am not the causal body. Niranjana, untainted. Nirmala, without vasanas or any impurities. They are all attributes of the causal body. So I negate that. So this way, Nididhyasana is to correct the Viparita Bhavana, erroneous notion. Okay? Then in the 35th verse, he said, Aham Akashayat Sarvam. Akashavat, like the space, Sarvam. He pointed out Atma is all pervasive. Bahihi, without, antargataha, within. Achyutaha means changeless. Chuta means change. Achyuta means changeless. Sarvaha samaha. I am same to all, same in all. Shuddhaha, pure. Nissangaha, attached, unattached. Nirmalaha, there are no impurities. Stainless, uncontaminated. Achalaha, motionless. And in 36, we saw that Atma is Nitya Shuddham, Nitya Vimuktam, Nitya Ekam. So I am ever pure, I am ever free, I am ever non-dual. Akhanda Anandam Advayam. I am undivided, homogeneous happiness. Akhanda, no breakage. Pure bliss. Satyam Gnanam Anantam Yat Param Brahma. Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma. Satyam, that which is unchanged in the past, present and future. Gnanam, not objective knowledge, but Gnana Swarupam, absolute knowledge. Then the question comes, how long should I practice this? That he answered in verse number 37. Evam nirantara abhyasa. Nirantara abhyasa, by constant practice, continuous contemplation. How? I am Brahmasmi, Nirgunaha Ahamasmi, Asangaha Ahamasmi, Kevalaha Ahamasmi, Nityaha Ahamasmi, Nirmalaha Ahamasmi, Shantaha Ahamasmi, like this. You train that mind to think these Brahma Kara Vritti. Then we saw the famous quote, Roganaiva Rasayanam. Just like medicine, when the doctor gives, it seeps into the bloodstream cell by cell to cure the disease. Same way, this nididhyasana, contemplation, Brahma Chintanam, gets rid of that chronic disease of ignorance of the self. How do I do that? Vivikta Desha Asinaha, Virago Vijitendriyaha. 38th verse, he suggested, gave us some instructions how to contemplate Vivikta Desha Asinaha. Find a quiet place. Don't do meditation in a bar. Don't do meditation in a marketplace. Find a quiet place for solitude. Asinaha. Be seated. We saw similar instructions from Kaivalya Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita chapter 6 and 13. Viragaha, with mental discipline, free from desires. Vijitendriyaha, control of the sense organs. Meditate through that mind. How? Ekam Atmanam Tam Atmanam Bhavayet. That bhava, that integrated function of the head and the heart. Then in the final verse of Nididhyasana, Atmanyeva kilam drushyam pravilapya dhiya sudhihi bhavaye deshamatmanam nirmala kashavats. In the last shloka, Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji told us, Sudhihi, a Viveki person, a Gnani, who has understood the Shastra with intense Shravanam, Akilam Drushyam, Atmani eva Pravilapya. He has intelligently dissolved the entire world of objects into that Atma. We will discuss a couple of things in today's class about that. First, I do Vivichya, separation from Atma, separation from Anatma and Atma. Atma, Anatma, Vivechanam. Then no Anatma has no independent existence, and then you reject it. How Nirmala Akashavat. Like the space, it has many things, but it is unaffected, uncontaminated. Now, like we talked about in the last class, very important to do this in stages. Take baby steps. Stage 1. Prior to Vedanta Mahavakya Shravanam, prerequisite is what? We need to do Saguna Upasana. Shiva Dhyana, Rama Dhyana, Devi Upasana, etc. While I am listening, knowledge may not take place, but I continue to do that. It brings Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta Ekagrata. In stage 2, we have to do Chintanam, Vedanta Chintanam. Vedanta Shravanam will remove the ignorance, give us the knowledge. Tell me that I am Brahman, but the doubts persist. Viparita Bhavana, the old tendencies, erroneous notions persist. That is only removed by Gnana Abhyasa, Nirantara Abhyasa. Now I am practicing, okay? This is the way the steps are laid out. Today, let us enter the topic. What is the result of this realization? Now I get it. Now what is the result? Let me share the shloka. Shloka number 40. Rupavardnadikam sarvam vihaya paramartavit paripurnaschidananda swarupena vatishtate. Now from 40th shloka onwards, Bhagavan is starting to discuss Gnana Phala. What is the result of this study? This Shravana Manana Nididhyasana. Paramarthavita. The one who has realized the supreme truth. Rupa Varnadikam Sarvam Vihaya. He discards all identification or association with names and forms, Nama Rupa, meaning the world of objects. He has no interest in them anymore. Therefore, Paripurna Chidananda Swarupena Vatishtate. He dwells on as an embodiment of the infinite consciousness and bliss. That means he has become a Brahmanishta, Atmanishta, Atmarathi, says the Upanishad. Just like the dreamer, when you're dreaming, we wake up and become the waker. The entire dream world that the mind had created is merged back into the mind. Same way, he has awakened to this new state of consciousness with constant practice of meditation. He dwells on that constantly. Brahma Chintanam. A good reference is in the Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, 19th verse. Yatha dipo nivatastaha ningate sopama smruta yogino yata chittasya yunjato yogamatmanah. Just like when we place a lamp in a windless place, how that flame does not flicker, it is very steady. This yogi Purusha, with his controlled mind, is focused, unwavering, and absorbed in the self. He is in firm abidance. You see that lamp, the flame of that lamp, it is pointing to the higher goal, to the upward always, and it is steady. That's why we keep a lamp around meditation, so that we can focus like that. He is in firm abidance, not distracted by the illusory nama rupa, names and forms. Moving on to the next shloka, number 41 in your text. Gnatrugnanagneya bedaha parenatmani vidyate chidananda nandaika-rupatvat dipyate swayameva tat. In some texts you may have it as swayameva hi. Gnatru gnana gneya bedaha. Gnatru is the knower. Gnana is the knowledge. Gneya is the one to be known. See, in Vedanta, we call this triad as a triputi. Sustained nididhyasana leads to samadhi. Dharana, dhyana, samadhi. There are two types of samadhi. Savikalpa samadhi, absorption of the mind with division. Nirvikalpa samadhi, absorption without any division. This vikalpa, division, is threefold. You will be able to understand this. The meditator, I am sitting and meditating, so I am the meditator. Dhyayi. Then there is the meditated, dhyeya. Then dhyana is the process of meditation. So these are the three divisions. Here in the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, the seeker has dissolved even that distinction. He is completely absorbed. Okay? Swayameva dipyate. He shines as how? Chidananda Rupa Ekatvat. That I am the Gnana Swarupa. Like Nirvana Shatkam says, Chidananda Rupa Shivoham, Shivoham, Chidananda Rupaha, Shivoham, Shivoham. Now let's go to the next verse, number 42. Evamaatmaranau dhyanamathane satatam krute udita vagatijwala sarvagnane indanam dahet. This dhyana mathane satatam krute. By this constant contemplation, not just once in a while, casual seeker, no, constant, nirantara meditation that is compared to aranau, that wooden piece. This churning of this knowledge, udita avagati jwala, that fire of knowledge that is born. This is elaborately discussed in the Kaivalya Upanishad. The shloka verse number 7 of that Upanishad says, Agnanamaranim krutva pranavam chottararim gnana nirmathanabhyasat papam dahati panditaha. See, in the olden days, when they had to do the rituals, the fire, they just didn't use any fire. So they would be produced by striking the two wooden pieces called arani. So the churning, the friction creates the heat and the fire. So in this metaphor that Shankaracharya ji is used is directly from that Upanishad. The lower ego, the lower stone, and the higher self is churned. The Mahavakya, as a result of this churning, he calls it Dhyana Mathana. The fire of knowledge, that indhana, that fuel is burnt. Avagatik jwala. Sarva gnana indhanam dahet. The fuel of ignorance is burnt in that knowledge of fire. What a powerful methodology. In similar reference is given in 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, shloka number 19. Yasya sarve samarambhaha kama sankalpa varjitaha gnanagni dagdha karmanam tamahu panditam buddha. This way, all the viparita bhavana created due to this ajnana is burnt away, destroyed. That is the result of this type of study. Going to the 43rd verse. Arune neva bodhena purvam santamase hrute tata avirbhavedatma swayameva amshumaniva. Arunena. We have a Aruna in our class also. In that early hours of dawn, the eastern sky, especially in Arizona, it's very evident, glows with a golden hue before the sunrise. Aruna Bhagavan, who is the Lord of the early dawn, Purvam Santamase Hrute. He dispels this darkness of the night, because of which we get the brilliance of the sun illumining the world. Same way, the vision of the self is obstructed by the agitations in the mind. This knowledge that is produced by this spiritual sadhana destroys this ignorance, avidya. A similar idea is expressed in Bhagavad Gita, 5th chapter, 18th verse. Jnanena tu tadagnanam esham nashitam atmanah tesham adityavagnanam prakashayati tatparam. Once the ignorance is destroyed, which is covered by the self, which is covering the self rather, Atma is immediately revealed. How? Like the sun, which is self-effulgent. Okay? Now, going to the 44th verse, a very famous example. Atma tu satatam praptopi apraptavada vidyaya tannashe praptavad bhati swakantha bharanam yatha. If you are going through the text, highlight that swakantha bharanam yatha. Very famous example. Atma tu satatam praptaha. In this verse, Shankaracharya ji is clarifying. It is ever existing reality. Swata siddha, self-evident. Aprapyavat avidyaya. It is not realized due to avidya, ignorance. Therefore, tannashe, when the ignorance is dispelled, praptavat bhati. It appears as though it is discovered. And here comes the famous example. Swakantha bharanam yatha. See, this lady was wearing this very expensive necklace. And previous night, after they came back from a party, she slept off with that. She woke up in the morning and started searching everywhere for that necklace. Husband was sitting, just reading a newspaper, where at the dining table, sipping a hot cup of coffee, looks at the wife. She is frantically searching and asks her, "What are you looking for?" She says innocently that she does not know where her expensive necklace has fallen. And what does he do? He laughingly suggests, it's right on your neck. Another common example that is often quoted is, we put our reading glasses, right? Gnana Chakshu, as I call it. We put it on our head. A lot of times what do? We search for it somewhere else. A little kid comes there and points out, it is right there on your head. Similarly, Atma tu satatam praptaha. It is there in all states of our existence, all times. Tannashe, meaning avidya nashe sati, praptavat bhati. It is there right within us and we are searching everywhere else. We remove, our Gurudev used to give a very popular example. We remove the cataract from our eye of wisdom, then it is visible right there. How? Meghapaye amshumaniva. He said that already. Just like when the clouds move away, the sun is self-evident. Same way, this glory of our Atma is revealed. Moving on to the next verse, number 45. Sthanau purushavat bhrantya kruta brahmani jivata jivasya tatvike rupe tasmin drushte nivartate. See, in the post and the ghost example, sthanau purushaha. Sthano purushavat. Post appears to be a man or a ghost. Bhrantya. Due to delusion in our mind. Kruta brahmani jivata. Brahman appears to be jiva, appears to be limited due to ignorance. Remember, when the misapprehension of the ghost is removed, the post is realized, the substratum is realized. Similarly, jivata, when individuality or the limited ego is destroyed, jivasya, of the jiva, is nivartate, removed, our true nature is realized. What does that mean? The jiva rediscovers its brahmatva. How? Swakanta varanam yata. We never lost the necklace. It was just rediscovered. We were searching in the wrong place. It is right there within us. You get it? Now going to the last verse on this topic. Number 46. Tattvaswarupanubhavat utpannam jnanamanjasa aham mama iti cha agnanam badhate digbrahmadivat. A beautiful example is given in this verse also. Just as the right knowledge removes the wrong notion, so too Tattva Swarupa Anubhavat Utpannam. The knowledge that is gained as a result of the experience of the truth, Anjasa, instantly, Aham Mama Iti Cha Agnanam, ignorance and notions that this is I, this is mine, or Padate, destroys. How? Dig Brahma. Just like the notions of wrong direction. Dik means direction. Only in the twilight zone or semi-darkness, we see these illusions, superimpositions, Sthanu Purusha, post and the ghost, rope and the snake, all happen in semi-darkness. Once the bright sun is there, all the delusion, confusion arising out of the Brahma are gone. Say in a new town, we are traveling, we are lost. How we discover the east or the true north? Looking at the sun. Dik Brahma means confusion about directions. Same way, our Brahma created due to avidya is removed by Anubhava Gnana, Aparoksha Anubhuti of Atma. This is the Phala. So in the next week's class, we will cover the topic of Jivan Mukti, how Gnani behaves from 47 through 53, and then Brahma Swarupa Lakshana. Okay? Om. Let's conclude the class and then I'll open it up for Q&A. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om asatoma sadgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, mrutyorma amritam gamaya. Om shanti shanti shanti. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Now I'll open it up for Q&A. Please stay back if you can.